In this video, let us look at skeleton of Java program. That is our first Java program. So let me explain you what are the elements of this program, what are the things that you have to write. Then I will go into details of each and everything. So let us look at the program. See, this is the program. And this program is for displaying hello world. Mostly people write hello world program as the first program to understand the skeleton of a program. So the same thing I have done here. Next thing. This program is saved as first.java. The name of the program is first.java. So whatever the editor you are using, you have to give the name. So you can give the name first.java for this first program. Then let us look at the things line by line. The very first thing is import java.lang.star. Actually, lang is a package. This is a package that is a language package. So there are some built-in packages in Java. You have to use them if you want to utilize their features present in that Java. It is just like libraries in C and C++. So you include them and use them. So here we have packages. So you have to import them and use them. So lang is a basic package and that is a mandatory package. Even if you don't import it, automatically it gets imported in our programs. So this first line is for importing a package, just like including a library. So that is optional. So it's better if you have a practice of writing that first line. Then every Java program is in the form of a class. So there is nothing outside classes in Java. Everything must be inside the class. And for writing the main function also, it must be inside a class. So here class first, and this is the starting and ending point of a class. This class name should be same as file name. Right? It should be same as file name. It can be different also, but later when I explain that time you can see how it can be different. But right now you have to follow this rule that class name should be same as the file name. Then inside this class I have only one function, that is method, and that method name is main. So like in C++ programming, the starting point of a program is main function. So here also it is main method. Here instead of function we call them as methods. So main method, this is main method, and it is void. Return type is void. Then we also have to write public static, then void main, and also we have to write string args. I'll explain these things afterwards. Then inside this system.out.println, this is useful for printing. Whatever you want to display it on the screen, you have to use this one, and inside double quotes you write on whatever the message you want to print on the screen. So that's all. This is the program. This is the first program. Now how to compile and run? So if you are doing it from command prompt, that is one method for compiling and running the program. So from the command prompt you have to call Java compiler. Java C means Java compiler, and you have to give the file name, this file name. So compiler will check the program. If it is error free, then it will generate byte code, and it gives a separate file called as first.class file. It gives first.class file, and that is compiled file, error free file, and it is not machine code, it is just byte code. Now for running the program we have to call JVM by saying just Java. Again on the same prompt, say Java and give the file name. Don't write .class, just give the file name first and it will run the program. As you know, JVM is an interpreter. It will convert that byte code into machine code and it will execute the program. So this is how you can compile and execute the program. Now let us go into little details of this one. See, main method. It should not return anything, so it must be always void. You cannot write int or anything there. Right? In C++ you can write void or int also sometime, but here void always. Then public. What is the meaning of public? So if you want anything from the class to be accessible outside, then it must be public. If it is public, then it will be visible. You can access it. Why it should be public? Because JVM, when you say execute the program, it will call this main method. So this main method is inside the class. So JVM should be able to see that main method. So that is the reason we have to say it is public. Then next, this is over. Now why to say static? See, if you have the little idea about classes, we cannot use a class unless we have created the object. If you want to use anything from the class without creating an object, then that should be declared as static. So if it is static, then it can be directly called without creating an object of a class, just by using class name. So yes, JVM has to call main method which is present inside this class. Without creating an object, it has to call. So when we say Java first, so what JVM will do? JVM will call first main. It will call the function first dot main. So just by using class name, it will call the function. So for making it easy for JVM, we have to write it as static. Otherwise, if you don't make it as static, JVM says I cannot find main method. It gives an error. Now, next thing, command line arguments. These are called as command line arguments. Now, this is a separate topic I have to discuss in detail, and this is actually optional whether you pass arguments or don't pass. But in Java program, whether you are taking it or not, always you must write it. So this line is always you have to write. Then coming to this line, system.out.println. Actually, println is a method. Println is a method. Just like in C language, if you have the idea of C language, printf is a function for printing anything on the screen. So println is a method for printing anything on the screen. Now, as I said in Java, nothing is outside classes and objects. So this is inside some object called as out, and that is inside a class called system. So this capital letter, starting with capital letter, this is a class, and this is an object inside, and this is a method. So method means it should have the bracket. This is not having bracket, so this is an object. This is having bracket, so this is a method. And this is starting with capital, so this is a class. So if you see this, this is a class, right? String is a class. Main is having bracket, so it's a method. So here, system is a class having an object called out, and it's having a method called println. So we call this method. So always you have to type this much lengthy for printing anything on the screen. So that's all about this Java program. So I will show you the demonstration how to type this and execute it in various IDEs. I will show you this one.